there's been some lonely ghosts floating around. So, Jessii has captured some and placed them into jars for you to keep company. They glow in the dark to bring some light to your nights. On her journey, she also came across some lost pumpkins that are looking for a loving home this Halloween season. They are her gift to you. Only available on jessiivee.com for limited time.
Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee, and in today's video, I am talking about Build-A-Bear. I had no idea there was a Build-A-Bear game back in 2010, and so of course I found creepy things about it. We're gonna get into that. I also have a creepypasta about the Build-A-Bear store itself and an employee that was working at night and had something very creepy happen to them. So I'm excited for today's video. We're gonna get into that in just a moment. First, I just want to give another reminder that Halloween is so close. It is so close. So if you would like any of our Halloween items before Halloween season is over, now is the time. I've linked them down below. We've got our ghost in a jar necklace. I love this. I've been wearing this the entirety of October so far. We also have our Adopt a Pumpkin jars that glow in the dark. They're all named something unique and different, so everything is linked down below. We're also almost sold out of our Jelly Belly squishies. These are so cool. 2 of them, you know the scent, and 2 are mystery scents, which I love. And we also have our Sour Patch Kids squishies. These are so fun. They're filled with like a gel, so they're really fun to play with. They smell just like the candy. It's actually insane. They smell sour and delicious, and I'm trying not to eat it. I mean, who thinks of this? It's so cool. And those come in 3 of the iconic scents and colors. If you would like any of that, I have linked it down below, and let's get right into today's video. Build-A-Bearville was a virtual world created by Build-A-Bear Workshop where you could bring your furry friend to life online using the ID code on their birth certificate. It was a place to chat with friends, to explore, and to join events. It came out in 2010 and it was shut down in 2015. And yes, I found a creepy story surrounding it. And by the way, I don't know why it was shut down. I wonder if it's because there just wasn't enough people playing it. I got a Build-A-Bear back in probably 2005. So by the time this game came out, I was too old. I was in like high school. I wouldn't have been interested, but I did have a Build-A-Bear. It was a white one with a blue nose and I named it Blueberry. Super creative, I know. But I'm curious if any of you guys have ever been on this website, have ever been to Build-A-Bearville, comment down below. I want to know. Maybe if you have, comment the bear emoji. Okay, so this first story is called The Forgotten Bears. This is about a girl who always used to play on this website until she grew tired of it and completely forgot about it. One day she was cleaning out one of her old hard drives and she found this really weird folder on it titled BABV_saved. And when she opened it, she saw a bunch of different screenshots of the game, and then she saw a single file that was titled forgottenbears.exe. And she was obviously intrigued, so she opened it. A window popped up with the Build-A-Bearville logo along with a loading screen. It looked like the old game she used to play was starting up, although it looked a little different. The colors that used to be so vibrant just weren't, and it almost seemed like her screen was glitching a little bit, which is always a sign. That is a red flag right there. She started to think that maybe it was some like sketchy fan-made version of the game because it wasn't available to the public anymore. So maybe someone tried to recreate it and did a bad job. And once the town loaded, it was very clear that something was wrong. The normally vibrant streets were in disrepair and they were empty. The bright sun that usually shone over the town was gone, and now it was gloomy and dreary. It was like the town was abandoned. And she wandered around for a few minutes until she saw a shadowed figure standing behind one of the shops, and she followed it, and it led her straight to a fountain in the town that was filled with broken bear limbs. There were even some heads in there that were not attached to bodies, and their faces were frozen in a silent scream. So it was a water fountain just filled with broken Build-A-Bears. Obviously now she was pretty spooked. She was really scared, and she tried to log out of the game, but the button was grayed out. It wouldn't let her leave, and the sound of static started to fill her speakers. Then a message popped up in her chat box that said, "You abandoned us. You left us to rot. We waited for you." Then the game crashed and she was left staring at her screen, absolutely terrified, and she built up the courage to look at that folder again, and forgottenbears.exe was gone. And that night when she went to bed, she could have sworn she heard a muffled voice from her computer saying, "Come back." And And that's how that one ends. Clearly it's trying to guilt trip everybody who left the game and didn't play it ever again. Sometimes I feel that way about my Neopets. I haven't fed them in 15 years. Okay, and then we have a story that takes place actually in the real Build-A-Bear store, and this one is called The Final Bear. This is about a 16-year-old teenage boy that had gotten a job at Build-A-Bear. It was at his local mall, which was always pretty empty. It was almost like no one really knew it existed. And on one of his shifts, something very strange happened. It was late, almost closing time. The lights were dimmed and the only sound was the whir of the stuffing machine, and he was alone behind the counter when he saw a man walk in. He was tall, wearing an old trench coat that smelled faintly of mildew, and he didn't have a kid with him, which was pretty strange. Most adults came in with children to, you know, get a bear for them. So just something seemed off to this guy. His eyes were dark and hollow. He looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept in 2 weeks. And he walked straight up to the counter and handed the boy a card. And on this card it said, "I need to build one final bear." So the boy pointed to the shelves at all of the different bears he could choose from, but the man shook his head and quietly whispered,
"No, I have my own materials."
Before the boy could respond, the man reached into his coat and pulled out this old, tattered teddy bear. It looked ancient, like it had been through decades of wear and tear. Its fur was faded and its button eyes dangled by threads. But the strangest thing was the stuffing. There was none. The bear was completely deflated. It was just this empty shell of fabric.
"Stuff this,"
the man said to him. The boy really wanted to refuse, and he most likely wasn't even allowed to do this at work, but there was something really intimidating about the man, and so he just decided to do what he said. As he began to fill the bear, the machine made an odd sound, like it was struggling. It never had any problems before, but now it wheezed and groaned as if something was clogging it. Finally, the machine stopped. He pulled the bear off the nozzle, and it felt wrong. The stuffing inside was heavier than normal, like it was made of something denser than cotton.
"Now sew it up,"
the man ordered him. The boy told him he first needed to put in a red heart. It's tradition. Kids were told it's how it comes alive with love, but the man did not want the fabric heart. He pulled out this small metal object in the shape of a heart.
"Put this inside."
And as soon as the boy did, the bear twitched. He could have sworn it did. And the man left with the bear, like cradling it in his arms as if it was a real child. And the boy could not get that man and bear out of his head for weeks. And then, months later, he saw a news report. A man had been found dead in his apartment clutching an old teddy bear. The cause of death was unknown, but the police were baffled by the condition of the body. It looked as though the life had been sucked out of him. His skin shriveled up and pale. And next to his body, they found a small metal heart. And that's how that one ended. Don't really fully understand it, but it scares me regardless. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, if you would like one of our Halloween items before they're gone, I have linked it down below. And let me know if you want me to do more nostalgic videos. I'm sure you do. Give this video a thumbs up. But I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!